Well, hello, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are actually wrapping up the 2024 sampler blanket crochet along project by making the border around the blanket. It's gonna be awesome. If you're brand new here, welcome. My name is Tiffany. If you would like to make this beautiful blanket you see right here, just go to my YouTube channel, click on playlists and click on 2024 sampler blanket, and you'll see all the videos that you need to make this blanket located right there. Oh my gosh, guys, the border turned out better than I hoped it would. At the same time, I think at this point in the project, I started to go a little crazy. Because there is so much variation happening in this border. Let me explain. So first of all, I wanted to make sure that the stitches I used in the border had a 1-to-1 stitch ratio, so that way we didn't have to worry about multiple stitch count requirement. There's so many different stitches, so many different counts going on in this project. I didn't want to focus on it. I didn't want that to matter. I wanted to just be able to wrap up the project with a beautiful border. So the 1-to-1 stitch ratio stitches helped a lot with that. Also, human error coming into play, where maybe you had more or less stitches in your borders around each individual square than I did. I didn't want it to matter. Again, I wanted there to be wiggle room for variation, for deviation, for it not being perfect, but still working. And that, yeah, the 1-to-1 stitch ratio helped a lot with that. But I also didn't want to get bored. So every single round is a different stitch. I know, right? Crazy. But towards the last couple rounds of the border, I was having a hard time thinking of different 1-to-1 stitch ratio stitches that I wanted to use to add. So I ended up using the seed stitch and a short cluster stitch at the very end of the border. And if you're noticing as you're going along that those stitches just not wanting to mesh well with your stitch count, I will be there with tips and tricks at that stage of this border to help you get through it, so that way you can make sure your stitches land the way that you want them to land. Also, color. If you notice that the border has multiple colors going on, when I was trying to figure out what border to add, the idea of a solid, just one solid color border actually seemed to distract away from everything we had going on in the inner body of the project. So it was distracting and it was kind of boring. And I was like, nope, we're not gonna have that. That's not gonna be an option. Boring is not going to be an option when it comes to this blanket and how much work we've put into it. So I ended up bringing 2 new colors to the project. We're going to carry over the Tuffet color, or the color we used to join the squares together. There was so much yarn left over that I was like, yeah, let's bring that into the border as well and use that. I'm also using a lighter color, number 63, or pale lilac, and then a deep dark color. I wanted like striking colors. I wanted something really light and something really dark, so that way it would be like pow, bam, like very noticeable when the rows changed. And this is number 79, or Bordeaux Heather. It's quite the word, Bordeaux. Focus on that when you're picking colors for your border. Go a lighter and a significantly darker, so that way it just has that pow wham factor. All right, so now that you have an idea of what to expect for the border, go ahead and grab your yarn, grab your crochet hook, keeping all of the same crochet hook, keeping all the same materials, keeping yarn that is in the same label or same family, definitely same size, so that way it all meshes well with each other. Everything seems to flow well. And also grab your joined sections, and let's begin.
Go ahead and grab that Tuffet yarn color that we used to join all the squares together. Create a slip knot, attach your crochet hook, and slip stitch into the upper corner stitch of the blanket. But don't find the middle corner stitch. We're going to look for the 3rd stitch that we made in that particular corner. Slip stitch into the back loop only of this stitch, just to attach the yarn to the project. Chain 1 and single crochet in the back loop only of the same stitch. Continue to make 1 single crochet stitch in the back loop only of every stitch all the way across the square, and I'll meet up with you at the join where we joined the 2 squares together to show you how to work this border over the join. Great, we've made it to the join. You're going to make a regular single crochet stitch into that middle corner stitch of the square that already has a stitch in it from the join. Then make 3 single crochet stitches over the chain 3 and single crochet in the corner middle stitch of the next square that already has a stitch in it from the join. And that's how we're going to work across all the joins. Do not make a single crochet in the back loop only around these joins. It's going to make things a little complicated, so just make a regular single crochet stitch there. And then continue making a single crochet stitch in the back loop only of every stitch across the square. Great. Now you know how to work over the joins, so when you get to the next join, just work over that as well. And I'll meet up with you in corner number 1 of the blanket. Once you reach corner 1 of the blanket, you're going to look for that corner middle stitch. In the corner middle stitch, you're going to single crochet in the back loop only, chain 2, single crochet in the back loop only. It makes a really crisp, pointy edge. It's quite pretty. And then rotate your project so you can start working along the next side. Continue to make a single crochet stitch in the back loop only of every stitch. And then I think you're set. I think you have everything you need. Working over the joins. Now you know how to work the corners. You're going to repeat this corner for corner number 2 and corner number 3. I'll meet up with you in corner number 4 to show you how to wrap up this round 1 of our blanket border and close everything off. You got this. Great. Once you've made it to corner number 4, you're going to single crochet in the back loop only of the first stitch, single crochet in the back loop only, chain 2, single crochet in the back loop only of the second stitch, and then make a regular slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet stitch that we made to close round 1 of our border. That's it. Great job. Now go ahead and grab your scissors, cut a long enough tail so that way you can weave in your ends, then yarn over and pull that yarn through the loop on your crochet hook for a tie off. Fantastic. Now go ahead and grab your next color so we can start round 2. For round 2 of the blanket border, we're going to grab that pale lilac color. Start by slip stitching into the chain 2 space in the top corner of your blanket just to attach the yarn to the project. Then chain 1 and make a half double crochet stitch in that same chain 2 space. This half double crochet stitch is your first stitch for round 2 of the border. Continue on making 1 half double crochet stitch in every stitch all the way across the top of your blanket. When you reach the first corner, find that chain 2 space and make a half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet. Rotate your project and continue making 1 half double crochet stitch in every stitch all the way around. Now you know what to do for round 2 of the border. Continue making 1 half double crochet stitch in every stitch, and when you reach the corner chain 2 space, make a half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet. Continue around and I will meet up with you in corner number 4 to show you how to close round 2 of the blanket border. Great, you've made it to corner number 4. What you're going to notice in corner number 4 is that there is already a half double crochet stitch in the chain 2 space. That is the first half double crochet stitch that we made to begin round 2 of the blanket border. So when you get to corner 4, in that chain 2 space, you're going to make 1 half double crochet stitch, chain 2, and then slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet stitch to close your border. Then cut your yarn, leaving a long enough tail to weave in your ends, and tie off your work. For round 3 of the border, we're going to switch to that dark Bordeaux heather color. Begin by slip stitching into the top chain 2 space to attach the yarn to the project. Chain 1, and what you're going to want to do is make a single crochet twist stitch in that same first chain 2 space. However, in the video, I just make a regular single crochet stitch. I missed that step when recording, forgive me. But what you're going to want to do in the next stitch is insert your crochet hook into the front loop only of the stitch, yarn over, pull through, then twist your crochet hook in a 360-degree angle, yarn over, and pull through both loops on your crochet hook. That is a single crochet twist stitch. In the next stitch, insert your crochet hook under the front loop only, yarn over, pull through that stitch, twist your crochet hook, yarn over, pull through both loops on your crochet hook, and repeat this single crochet twist stitch in every stitch all the way across the top of the blanket. I will meet up with you in corner number 1 to show you how to work the corners. In your corners, find the chain 2 space. In the chain 2 space, do a single crochet twist stitch, chain 2, single crochet twist stitch. Great job. Rotate your blanket and continue this pattern all the way around your blanket. I will meet up with you in corner number 4 to show you how to close off round 3. Great, you've made it to corner number 4. In this corner, we already have a single crochet stitch, so all we got to do in this chain 2 space is single crochet twist stitch, chain 2, and then slip stitch into the top of your very first stitch to close the border. Then cut your yarn, leaving a long enough tail for you to weave in your ends and tie off your work. Great job. We've made it to round 4. For round 4, switch back to that pale lilac color and then slip stitch into the top corner chain 2 space to attach the yarn to the project. Chain 2, this chain 2 does not count as a stitch, remember that. Double crochet in that chain 2 space. Double crochet in the first stitch. The reason we're double crocheting in the first stitch is because that stitch was made in a corner and not in a front loop only. For the next stitch, we're going to push all of those single crochet twist stitches forward to reveal the left behind loop right behind it. Double crochet in that left behind back loop only from round 2. This is going to help push all those single crochet twist stitches forward. Continue to make 1 double crochet in the back loop only of each stitch all the way across. I'll meet up with you in corner number 1 to show you how to work the corners. In corner number 1, in the chain 2 space, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Rotate your work. Once you've gotten past the corner, continue working the double crochet stitch in that left behind back loop only stitch of round 2 to push that single crochet twist stitch forward. Great. Now that you know how to work the corners and you know how to work every stitch around, continue all the way around the blanket, and I will meet up with you in corner number 4 to show you how to close off round 4. In corner number 4, in the chain 2 space, we're going to double crochet, chain 2, and then slip stitch into the very first double crochet stitch that we made for the round to close off round 4. Cut your yarn, leaving a long enough tail to weave in your ends and tie off your work. Great job, guys. It's at round 5 that I started to switch things up from the 1-to-1 stitch ratio stitches. Go ahead and switch back to that Tuffet color yarn and slip stitch into the top chain 2 corner to attach the yarn to the project. We're going to work that seed stitch. Start by chaining 1, Single crochet in that same chain 2 corner, then chain 1, skip the next stitch, and single crochet into the following stitch. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, and single crochet into the following stitch. Continue this pattern across the top of your blanket, and I'll meet up with you in corner number 1 to show you how to work the corners. Once you reach corner number 1, there's a couple different situations you might run into. The first situation is if you are working this pattern and your single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet lands you a single crochet stitch in that very last stitch right before the chain 2, then just make your single crochet stitch and still hop right into that chain 2 corner and make another single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. If you chain 1, skip the last stitch right before the chain 2 corner, then just jump right into the corner with a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Rotate your blanket and keep on going. Don't let this stop you. Just continue working the pattern, and no matter what, once you reach that chain 2 space, in that chain 2 space, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and continue on. You've got this. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let you finish round 5 on your own, even corner number 4. All you gotta do in corner number 4 is find that chain 2 space. There's already a single crochet stitch in it. All you gotta do is single crochet, chain 2, and then slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet to close round 5. I'll meet up with you after round 5 is closed to work round 6, the last round of this border. So exciting. Round 6 of our border is the very last round for the border. We're going to switch to that dark Bordeaux heather color. This is a great way to cap off our border and really make it pop. Slip stitch into that top corner chain 2 space to attach the yarn to the project. And then chain 1. To make this stitch, just yarn over, insert your crochet hook into the space, yarn over, pull through, and pull tall. Then yarn over again, insert your crochet hook into the same space, yarn over, pull through, and pull tall. You should now have a total of 5 loops on your crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through all 5 loops to complete your small little cluster. Then chain 1, skip over the single crochet stitch, look for the chain 1 space, and make another 2 half double crochet cluster. Yarn over, insert your crochet hook into that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through, and pull tall, yarn over, insert your crochet hook back into that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through and pull tall, yarn over and pull through all 5 loops, and then chain 1. Continue this pattern all the way across the top of the blanket, and I will meet up with you in the first corner to show you how to work the corners. Great. In every corner chain 2 space, this is what you're going to do. You're going to make a 2 half double crochet cluster, then chain 1, 2 half double crochet cluster, chain 1, 2 half double crochet cluster for a total of 3 clusters. Then rotate your project, chain 1, skip over the next single crochet stitch, and continue the pattern. Great. Now you know how to work the 2 half double crochet cluster stitch, and you know how to work the corners. Continue around this blanket, and I'll meet up with you in corner number 4. In corner number 4, we already have a 2 half double crochet cluster in that corner. You're going to enter into that chain 2 space, make a 2 half double crochet cluster, chain 1, 2 half double crochet cluster, chain 1, and then slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet cluster that was already made. Don't forget that chain 1 before you slip stitch into the top of that first half double crochet cluster. I could see somebody accidentally missing that. Not a big deal, but I want to point it out. Then tie off your work, leaving a long enough tail for you to weave in your ends. Great job, project complete. You're all done. I hope you love it.
Guys, can you believe it? This project's done. It's finally complete. Oh, I'm so proud of you for sticking this project out and making it to the very end and completing it. This was quite the large crochet along project. I hope you love it. I hope you had fun. I hope that you learned something new, exposure to a new stitch, a new pattern, but above all, I really hope that through this process that you grew as a crocheter. That is the one thing that I wish most and hope most for you. If you would like to recreate the very blanket that I have here, the colors, I did create kit box options that you can check out. So you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about the yarn, the materials. You just get the kit and I'll ship it directly to you so you don't have to do anything. I'll put the links to the kits in the description section below for you if you'd like to check those out. So now guys, finish up this project and then watch out for the next crochet along project. I hope you join in. Bye guys.